I hope uh, I hope you have had time or you have understood the first half, that is storing part, storing the product details. Now we are talking about restoring the same. So just go through the code line by line. Here, tester is going to talk to user, scanner and all will be in the Tester will pass this file name. We are first checking if the file is an existing file, readable data file, and then only we are attaching the streams. And as you know, this is a conversion stream. This is your buffering stream and this is your node stream. So in one example, you are using all of them. And now you just have, sorry, like how we had written here write methods, you are going to reverse it into read methods. And then you are, we are going to put all those entries in the map and return the populated map to the caller. Are the statements clear? Is everyone clear about what is to be done? Or what is that pending part? Okay, so let's start writing it together. So here, we don't have any map. So let us create an empty map first. And so I'll write in steps, create an empty map. So let us here, new hash map. So this is your map, variable name. Oh, this is not object, object. This is going to be your, see the default type. It is referring as object, object, but we don't want that. We want a generic type as integer, product. So this is empty. Now, here, you don't have an idea. See, listen to this. Currently, we know that there are something like 4 or 5 products stored. But in a production environment, you may not have a clue of how many products you have written. Are you understanding? So I don't know how many times this has to be iterated and all. So you can have a while true kind of a condition, that is indefinite looping. And here you can restore the data from the binary file and add that into map. So, and then we will return the populated map restored from the file. So which is the method we use for adding the entry in the map? Map.put. Okay. And we already know that is these are your what? Non-duplicate records. So you don't have to say put if upsend. So this is key comma value. But here, now anyone wants to tell me, how will I read the key? How will I extract the key? Which will be the method, which read method I'll have to use for reading the product ID? No. You're all wrong. Guys, wrong. Stop. Yes. Now the people are answering. We are reading it from the binary file. So why you are giving me map API contains key and all that? You are reading it from the map. From the file. So the method is read int. And that product ID you are going to require in 2 places. Once in the key and once in the constructor of this. So I'm reading it off. So int ID is equal to right hand side. Give me the RHS in dot read int. So what is going to happen is this converter or this data input stream is going to read the next 4 bytes, wherever is that buffer pointer. And in the beginning, it will be at the first 0th position and it will read the 4 bytes and convert it. And then I can do it in one shot. So ID, and here I have to construct it as new product. Sorry. And you will start helping me now. I hope you remember the constructor arguments. Like I said, don't worry about the remembering part. Copy it here. Okay, so anyone wants to tell me, how will I read the product name? Tell me the method. It's exactly opposite. Guys, are you understanding? Earlier, whatever were the write methods, simply replace globally write by read and you have done it. So here, in dot read UTF. Earlier, we had used write UTF. Opposite method is read UTF. Now, here, if you remember, we had converted the product category to string So how will I read this back? Anyone wants to tell me? How will I restore the product category? Yeah, I got the answer. Very good, Prashant. So first I have to read it from the binary file as a string. So in.read UTF. And how do you convert a string to the enum? Value of method. So write it, category. So when you say category, control space, this is where people were making mistakes yesterday, I recall. Com app core has to be chosen. Dot value of, and in goes the in.read UTF. And here, will I need to uppercase it, or is there no need to uppercase? Needed or not needed? Not needed, because the toString method of enum already prints it as a name and constant name is already uppercase, so zero need. What about the next one? Now I want to restore it as a date. I hope you remember the API local date.parse. You can always use import static anytime. In.read UTF. And then the last one is your product price. So that will be your in.read. So this you cannot replace it really by functional, because we don't know. There's no such direct higher order function which can populate the map. So here, anyone wants to tell me? Okay, before I ask you the further question, have you understood this line? Are we clear? Reading is always little difficult than writing. Writing was easiest. But here we are restoring the details one by one. Clear or lost? I don't want to waste too much time. I want to start serialization, deserialization. So respond. Okay. So here, read exactly. I've replaced the right methods by read. And now I'm asking you, suppose in my shop, there are 10 products. So how many times this loop will iterate, this while loop will iterate? 10 times. And the next time, I don't know how many are there. Today there are 10, tomorrow there can be 100, right? So what will happen when the loop runs for the 11th time and it comes across read in? So you are trying to read the data beyond the end of file, beyond the end of buffer. So what will happen? Continue to work or exception? Of course, exception. If you are trying to read anything which is beyond the end of the stream, the exception it throws is java.io.eof exception. EOF stands for end of file, but actually it means end of stream condition. So here, see, always throws keyword. We are not what do you say? If there is any error in attaching the streams, we are delegating it to the caller. But such exception, you can catch it yourself. So here, this is your try, and this is called as the immediate handling, local handling, which is the exception you are looking for. Which will be the exception JVM will throw? The name of the exception is EOF exception. Look at this. Read the pop-up help. Signals that end of the file or end of the stream. See, you are reading it from the file into buffer. So it could be end of buffer condition has been reached during the input. So do this. And here in this case, this is not a genuine error. You heard data read is over. So data read complete. And in this case, you will have to return. So I'll have to declare. See, I have declared this hash map within the try block. So can I access it from catch? Simple question I'm asking. If I have declared this in the try block, can I access it from catch block? Answer is no. So what is it I'll have to do? I'll have to shift this outside. Okay, we are doing the refactoring of the code. So I'm doing it outside. Actually, let us do it all the way outside. See the little refactoring of the code I'm showing you. So you can reduce the number of lines. And here I'm saying, return this map to the caller. And here, this saves me one line of the code. I've already got this. So I think we are done all the ways. Give me a second. I'll just check and then explain the whole code to you. Yeah. So observe, stop coding completely. and allow me to explain it line by line. End of file is an exception. No, you are not getting the point from your this thing, Shubham. You're not, first of all, stop writing the DM, direct messages. You have to write it as a public chat message. So the answer, Shubham had asked me, EOF exception is an exception. So can we say directly exception? So answer is no, because I don't want to handle any other exception than EOF. In short, if there is an IO exception and all, who should handle it? Tester. But if we are actually coming to the end of the file, only that exception I want to handle. So keep it precisely as EOF exception, because that gives me the signal, that gives me the trigger that now I have really reached the end of file, end of buffer. So now is the time to return the map to the caller. Understood me, Shubham? Okay. So now coming back to the point, let me explain it line by line. So here I have created the empty map. Here I have created the file class instance so that I can validate if the file exists and all that. So if the validation succeed, then we are attaching the data streams. So I'll just put these comments elsewhere. I'll just rearrange the comments. So whenever you are revising it in the lab session, you should have it proper. Okay. So now, why I had to write while true loop? Anyone wants to tell me? Why I had to write a while true? I'm waiting for the answer. I already explained it. I just want to hear it from you. Why you have to write the while true? What is the reason? Because you don't have any idea about how many products are stored in that binary file. It could be variable size. It could be 10 products, 20 products, 100 products. So keep on looping. Read the data byte by byte. Use those conversion stream methods to convert it into actual Java data types, such as integer, long, whatever. And when you get, which is the exception you will get at the end of stream condition? EOF. EOF, even though it expands to end of file, it actually means end of stream. So whenever you reach the end of stream, that indicates that data reading part is complete. Now there is nothing else to read. And here, what are we returning? Are we returning the populated map to the caller or empty map to the caller? Populated map to the caller. And in case of invalid file names and all that, then I'm returning the empty map to the caller. So this was the whole explanation. I'm sending you the IO utils again. If anyone wants it. Oh, I sent it only to Shubham. Please don't send me the DM, because then I make mistakes and send it to only this. So I'm sending it to all. Now everyone, IO utils. Okay. So this completes your reading part. No problem, Shubham. Next time, don't please send me. Okay. So what happens now is you just have to write a tester and check if it works. So let us write the tester together. So here I'm writing restore details now. And since I'm going to take the name of the file from user, attach a scanner, open that scanner class instance. And here, since we want to call the IO utils method, we're starting utils, IO utils. Which method are we going to call? Store details or restore details? Restore product details. And all I'm calling is this much. So restore product details, sc dot, next line. And what it is returning is, okay, first add a catch all. It is including in the throws clause. So here, Shubham, we are catching all possible exceptions. In that method, I was catching only EOF exception. So the change. And let's control one, assign it to a variable. So now I have restored the map entirely from binary 5. But we need to confirm whether it is same restored map or not. I mean, whether it is restored correctly or not. So SOP, restored product, sorry, product details. And now you know the for each and everything. So here you can use your map dot for each, a by consumer interface, E, V, and here I can say V. It is confirming whatever samples we have written, are they restored correctly or not? And then we are saying data reading all is over and terminating the app. I'll wait here for a minute. Sync up. And if there is any confusion, any this, done and working, very good, Prashant. So if there is any line of the code which you not understood, tell me the line number. I can explain again. In IO utils, okay. I'm opening IO utils, Girish. Tell me line number. I'll explain. I'll not explain the whole thing again. Line number 15. No, next line is not there, Rohit. So one at a time. When returning, no, Girish, you have the line numbers in front of you. Tell me line number and then I'll explain. Rohit, wait a second. I'll first finish with Girish and then ask you. 67. So here, when will this, okay, let me ask you, Girish. When will this while true loop get over? Answer that. Anyone can answer, not just him. I said, when will the code come out of this indefinite loop? On end of file, except on the end of file. So then you will get an exception. So the control will reach under the catch block. Here you will see the message data read complete, and that map has been populated with all these entries. So that map we are returning it in a, populated map we are returning it to the caller. Understood or not? That is the only thing I've done. Okay. So now, Rohit, you are asking something. You are asking me about the next line. Next line we have been using since so many days. What is there to ask? See this. User has given me the file name. So if you say my file name will not have any white spaces, no spaces in between, you can use sc.next. But if you say my file is in some other folder and folder can have white spaces and all, next line will read the entire line. So I did not take a chance and I just wrote it as next line. You got me? Okay, great. So now let's try running it. And what is the expected output? Expected output is this. But do you expect to see the same order or any order? Ordered, sorted, unordered, unsorted. Answer me that. Sorted. Wrong answer. Guys, we are restoring it as what? Hash map. What is hash map? Ordered or unordered? Unordered. Sorted or unsorted? Unsorted. So don't expect any sorting or order. It is just going to get it it is all internally going to call hash code and equals on your product ID, and accordingly you'll see the output. So only thing is entire data will be retrieved. That is sure. I forgot the name of the file which I created, products.data. And you can see that. Don't expect any sorting, any ordering and all that. So you should be able to just check whatever are the products. You can later check the whole data is retrieved using binary file. Is it working? Some of you are saying, is it working for more people? Restore details. Komal had sent you IO utils just a minute back. You did not download it? I'll send you again. Just some time ago I had sent it. Here, anyway, I've sent you this. Oh, I'm sending it to all of you. Again, IOUtils, and I'm also sending you the tester in case you want. Okay, so both the files I have sent you, Komal, IOUtils and restore details. So this was all about your what? Data input stream, data output stream. In dot available, yes, but easiest option is using while true. I mean, because I don't have to check this, but you're right. You can use the available method also. If the available method returns 0, you can come out of the loop. But I find a clean and what do you say, clear cut ending this with a EOF. So I generally use that. But you can use any API, whatever you understand more. Okay, so now I take it that majority has tried it, or okay, not majority, but at least majority has understood it. Has everyone understood it at least? Forget about actual implementing. Okay, so now just step back and observe your IOUtils, and we had to write such a complicated code. We had to write a lambda, we had to iterate, and we had to extract all the details ourselves. And similar thing I had to do for restoring. So instead of investing all such time, instead of taking so many efforts, if somebody gives you the advanced streams, most advanced streams in Java, which are nothing but serializer and deserializer. If you have a Python background, you have the similar stuff, similar support in Python also. You have similar stuff support in your this thing also, PHP also. In short, it's all technologies offer it. So the coming back to the point, I mean, isn't it cool? Isn't it better that entire of this, of course, attaching the chain is required, but this entire stuff reduces to one liner, write object, and entire hash map as an object. Hash map is an object, is directly stored in the underlying file, underlying binary file. And instead of this thing, I'll still have to validate and check. But instead of writing all this while true, or like Mohit was suggesting some in dot available, instead of doing that, if I can just restore the entire map in one method, read object, which one is easier? Of course, those one-liners are easier. So finally, we are coming to the most advanced streams in the binary world in Java, namely ObjectOutputStream, which is used for something called as serialization, and ObjectInputStream, which is used for deserialization. Understood the statement or not? What is it we are going to reduce? We are going to reduce this entire read operation to how many lines? Single liner, single method call, read object. And this entire loop and complex looking lambda and whatever to one liner, write object. So let us enter the important most part of IO, which is nothing but serialization and deserialization. So let me show you. Okay, so here understand from the basics, because this serialization deserialization is such an important concept which we are going to revisit in a topic called as Hibernate. And when we write a full stack application, that reminds me, guys, I'm asking you something out of context. Please excuse me for that. You have done React. So have you learned writing a full stack application, React as a front end, and the Node.js Express as a backend? Have you done it? You have done it. Very good. So you have already knowing what is the REST API and the complete CRUD application you have written and tested using what? Axios framework or Fetch API? Axios, great. Because you know, that reduces my effort of teaching something in front end. So now what you had done is, you had React as a front end and Express Node.js as the server side technology. But React is what? A JavaScript library. And the backend is also Node, a JavaScript framework. Everyone understands what I'm talking about? Okay. But now, if you want to go for the cross-technology solution, which cross-technology? What is it I'm going to show you towards the end of our advanced Java? The front-end application will be still React, but the backend will be replaced from Express to which one? What is the technology naturally we will use? Yes, a Spring Boot, not Hibernate. Hibernate is for this thing, a data access layer. So it will be Spring Boot and REST APIs. You earlier you are using Axios and calling the REST APIs to invoke the endpoints of the backend. So that we will shift it to Java backend calls. So now your front end is going to send you, front end framework is JavaScript, backend is Java. They don't understand each other in the sense, do you think Java object format will be understandable by the React? It's a Boolean question, yes or no? Yes, you are saying, guys, Java and JavaScript are totally different. I mean, their object notations are totally different. Answer is no. And JavaScript objects won't be interpretable. So it is like, suppose I'm speaking in German and you don't understand German. So we will need a translator. We'll have to come to the common data exchange format. So which is the common data exchange format? Lightweight data exchange format we use every day. JSON. Exactly. So when I take you to this full stack application, end to end, like React front end, I'll pick up the one which you have written, or I'll show you, I'll share one of my this thing. And so Java object will be marshaled. Have you heard the terms marshalling and unmarshalling? Serialization and deserialization. Okay. So anyway, I'll explain those. So marshalling is nothing but what? Conversion from technology specific objects such as Java object to JSON, XML, HTML, whatever, we'll use JSON, of course. And unmarshalling is equal to deserialization, which is nothing but JSON to Java object conversion. So why I suddenly started talking in the full stack application? Because I just wanted to emphasize serialization, deserialization is extremely important to a Java developer. You will hear of it once again in Hibernate and later in your full stack application. Okay, so that way. So now let me come to the today's part. Let me not get carried away and confuse you. So what is that serialization? What is the meaning of the word serialization? Easy. Conversion of Java object to the equivalent binary format, binary stream is called as serialization. Serialization is equal to conversion from what to what? Conversion from Java object to binary is equal to serialization. And once you have the binary stream, I can send it to any device. So in core Java, which is the device currently we are handling? Which is the device we are working with currently? File. So is this serialization facility available to text files or binary files? I mean character B or C? Obvious question, dumb question. Of course, when I say byte stream, how can you write it into character files? So this has to be binary file. Okay. So who is going to perform this serialization is equal to conversion? There is a class, advanced class, ObjectOutputStream. Which is the name of the method? What is the name of the method where the actual conversion will happen? Write object. What is the argument of the write object method? Object reference. So tell me, if I have got products stored in a hash map, can I say hash map is an object? Yes. So I can pass, we will create an instance of that object output stream and I can say out.writeObject entire hash map. And guys, are you understanding? I don't know whether you are understanding the impact. All this code, whichever we were writing earlier, will be replaced by a one-liner. So who is going to perform this entire conversion from hash map, which has product ID, product details, product has a category, product has a date, later product has a shipping address, etc. Who is going to perform this conversion? Java API as in serializer or a programmer? Java API serializer, of course, serialization. Okay, so that great this topic is, or that important this topic is. Okay, so here you just write Java object and conversion to binary is going to happen using a class namely ObjectOutputStream. And once you have a byte stream, today you have only binary files, so I can send it to binary file. But tomorrow, if the business requirement is, suppose you want to store it in the memory, there is something called as byte array output stream. You can store it in the memory. When I take you to advanced Java and when we are discussing Hibernate, at that time, you will see the Hibernate APIs allow you to save the state of the object in database. That is where I'll teach you ORM, Object to Relational Mapper, ORM framework, you'll understand. Or if you want to send it to the socket, from client to server, you want to upload those product details from client to server, and server may save it in the database. So all that also can happen. So the device here can be socket. So let me ask you, what will be the job of object output stream? Is it going to be a node stream? Is it going to be a converter stream? Or is it going to be a buffering stream? Object output stream, I'm asking. Only the conversion. Will it be device specific or will it be device independent? I hope to get a correct answer now. Device independent. And after that, then it can be replaced by file output stream or byte array output stream or socket output stream, wherever you want to send, or simply buffer it. So this is what we are attempting. But now answer the next question. When you say Java object, on the first day of object-oriented programming, we said object has state and a behavior. So guess smartly. During this serialization, what do you think will get converted to bytes? Choices are state, behavior, both or neither. What is it which will be converted to binary? Answer is only the state. What is the state? How do you define the state of Java object? Is it a static data members or is it a non-static data members? Tell me, state of Java object. Instance variables means what? Non-static data members. So you will see it is only the state which will be extracted, the state of the Java object. And of course, there will be some metadata information that I will discuss later. And that will be converted to binary and that will be written to this binary stream. So now, whenever just writing part is not sufficient, you will have to restore it also. So tell me, the conversion from object to binary is serialization. So what will be the meaning of deserialization? Which to which conversion? Simple question, simple answer. Deserialization is equal to restoring the Java object from binary. In short, binary stream to Java object. And you'll be amazed to see the power of JVM or the Java API. It is one method read object, an entire object graph, hash map having key and a value. Value means product having the detailed data members. Everything will be restored back. So that is what we are going to learn in the remaining time. And then of course you will see that there are certain issues, certain problems. So we'll come across the problems, we'll see the problems and we'll fix it. So what we are looking at here is serialization and deserialization. Okay, and which is the device we are going to use is the binary file. Okay, so this was the opening statement. So now let me send you only one readme. You just have to know, I won't say inside out, but the initial part, at least inside out, is serialization in detail. So I'm sending you, and of course, but again, I'm saying some of you, which is good. You are reading the readmes is very good, but please don't waste your lab session in going through the readmes, you have to allocate different time of a day. You will say you are spending 8 hours with me. I know that. But guys, this is only a month or whatever, these, 6 months in CDAC. I mean, they are critical. So the point is, please do the hands-on code revision in the lab session, and anytime little bit extra just before sleeping, half an hour. If this will not take you half an hour, 15-20 minutes kind of read time, you definitely go through. So let me send you this. All the details you will not get immediately. Over time, you will get it. And I'm telling you frankly, am I going to solve entire readme? Unfortunately not. Simply no time. And basically forget no time. It's not the required as a part of the contents. But if whenever you are preparing for exams and all, I would definitely say, or interviews, basically interviews, definitely go through it. This is one of the favorite topics, popular topic basically. Okay, so you can open that, you can download and open. So let's start reading and understanding, and we'll solve it using a code sample. And that is all we'll be doing today. So first is why. So ObjectInputStream and ObjectOutputStream are classes in java.io. So what is the need of them? One word answer: to achieve the persistence. Persistence general meaning is saving the information. But persistence in Java means something specific. Saving the state of the Java object in a permanent manner. So that data sync can be database in the advanced Java next week, or it can be a binary file today. With that we don't care. But I want to save it in a permanent manner. So now read the justification. Read this much and I'll explain. Okay, so if there were no serializer and deserializer streams, in short, if there was ObjectInputStream did not exist. If you wanted to persist, you had to convert all the data, which we did using DataInputStream and all. At least I had some methods to write int, write boolean, but you had to manage all the things. So when we have object streams, why slog, why struggle? So object streams, object input output streams, give you the ready-made functionality for writing as well as reading. So now read the further things. So what are the stream classes? Sorry, which is the stream class for writing the object to binary? The name of the class is ObjectOutputStream. And which are the two important interfaces it implements? I hope you remember data output. Anyone wants to tell me which methods you remember from data output interface? Give me 2-3 at least. We just finished data output stream some time ago. Anyone wants to tell me? Yes, write int, write boolean, write short, write long, write utf, etc. So that you already know. Now you'll realize why I take this earlier. So you already know half, and writing the object's capability, that write object method is introduced from object output interface. So now read the description. What is the job of an object output stream class? Serialization. So what is the meaning of serialization? Read this. Okay, so extracting, I asked you, or rather I told you, what is it which will be converted to binary? State, behavior, both or neither? Answer is only the state. The behavior part is part of dot class files. For example, product.class, product category.class. So those dot class files will have to be supplied separately during the deserialization. Those are not added in your binary stream. Those are not added or stored in the binary stream. So now read the details. Everyone knows the term serial number. Serial is what? Sequencing. So serialization literally means arranging things in a sequence. So this is the process where the state of the Java object is converted into bits as in binary, and this particular binary data will have a proper sequence, and using that information, the restoration deserialization will happen. So this is basically the converting or extracting the state of the object and converting it to binary, the meaning. I mean that is the meaning. So if you want to give a formal definition, what do you say as a state of the object? Everyone knows the first one, non-static data members. But I have yet to tell you, I have not yet discussed, there is another keyword you are going to learn today, transient. So transient is something which doesn't persist. Okay, so more on transient later. We will come to the requirement and then I'll explain. So the complete definition is non-static, non-transient data members will be extracted and converted to binary. What is transient? Later. Now look at the constructor. So when you see the constructor, tell me. Looking at the constructor, you should be able to tell me. Device specific or device independent? S or I? S for specific, I for independent. Of course, device independent. Have they said here file device, socket device, pipe device? Nothing of the sort. I told you, it is a conversion stream. Conversion and buffering streams, device independent. Only the node streams are device specific. So here, when you say, for example, buffered output stream, what will you, if you supply buffered output stream, object output stream will convert the object state into buffer. I'm so sorry, into binary I meant. And that binary data will be stored in the buffer and later you can dump it to a file. So the destination binary output stream simply says where this binary stream has to be sent. The destination could be buffer, could be file, could be pipe, could be socket, could be anything. So this is how we are going to construct it. And then what are the methods you will enjoy from object output stream class? So these methods you already know. That is why I spent so much of time earlier. You already know writing in primitive types, writing of strings and all. But could we write the, what was that? The enum, the category directly? No. We had to convert it into string and then we could write it. So in short, this is what comes from your data output interface and which is that additional method, very precious, very important method, which your object output interface brings in. The method name is writeObject. And the moment you say the name of, argument is object, will I be able to replace it? Will I be able to pass array list of products to the writeObject method? It's a yes or no question. Yes. If I want to store the customer set, set of customers, hash set of customers, will I be able to do that? Yes. If I want to store one user details, answer is yes. All the classes, the object is a universal superclass, right? So this is such a powerful mechanism. So we are going to perform first the serialization. And once the serialization is successful, once that binary file is created, then we will enter deserialization and discuss further. Understood the basic concept at least behind the serialization? Okay. So now let us identify the chain of the streams and then we'll actually write the code. So let me see one of these diagrams. I'll just show you. This is, yeah. So why don't you, I'll share this. This is written, this is drawn earlier. So you can look at this. So here, check what we have. So here you have a Java application and you want to store the details of the products in the binary file. So here, if you don't use this object output stream, you as a programmer will have to convert everything into binary. So instead of taking, taking efforts ourselves, we are using a converter. So object output stream is what? Serializer. And because it is implementing data output as well as object output, what all you can pass to this object output stream, I've given you the list. You can pass primitive types. There are methods, write int, write boolean, write short, etc. Can I pass a string? Yes, write UTF method. But can I pass a product instance? Yes, there is a write object method. Forget that. Can I pass the entire graph, entire collection of Java objects? Answer is yes again. And once you give it to your serializer, what is it going to get it? What is it going to give you as the output? Serialized binary stream, which has definitely the state converted into binary plus some metadata information. So what is that metadata information? I'll talk about later. So here, what you get is a binary stream. And if you want to put it in a buffer, can anyone tell me what should I add here if I want to buffer it first? Give me the name of the class, buffered output stream. Very right. And if you say no, there are very less records, so I want to save it directly, you can use a file output stream. We can introduce a buffer here. So from buffer, it can be going to file output stream and in a binary file. But guys, if you see the general code, typical norms, typically we don't even require the buffer because that entire writing part is going to happen in one method, write object. So buffering is totally optional. So here, this is the Java code, which is the translation. So I think anyone should be able to translate. So we are going to create an instance of an object output stream. If you want to introduce a buffer, you can add a buffered output stream, file output stream, and a binary file. And now tell me, do I have to say map.forEach and write it record by record? Or can I dump it directly in a single write operation? Answer is, I can dump it I can write it directly in a single write operation. And which is the method we are going to use for that? Which method we are going to use is the method name write object. Exactly. So we are going to pass the object directly, as Rishikesh said. So here, how to store the products into binary file, out.write object and the products detail. Okay. So this is our opening statement. And as my usual philosophy is, here we are going to see whether there are any problems. Of course, you are going to get the problems. And once you see the problem, you'll understand the root cause behind the problem, and then we will be solving the same. Is the statement clear? So let us get started, and let's create a different project for this because it's a very important concept for a Java developer. So come to ID. If you want to do it parallelly, like I said, you can. So let's create a day 19.2. For serialization. And here, observe what I'm copying. All I'm copying is the core package and the utils. And paste it under SRC. So you have a product and you have a category. And in utils, open that collection utils. We are planning to write a map. So let the collection utils be as it is. And tell me, in IO utils, change or no change. This is the copied code. Will you see the change or no change? Answer is 100% change. Nilesh, problem seems to be at your end. So here, delete that IO utils. We are going to write it from scratch. So I'll wait here for a minute. So make sure that you have a new project, brand new project, where you have got a category and a product and only collection utils. Tell me, when you reach here, we'll start writing. I've removed the IO utils. We are going to write it from scratch. Okay, so those who have done it, I mean, let's continue. So in utils, let's create a new interface. IO utils. And say finish. So here, add a static method to store map of products in a binary file using serialization. Is the comment clear? Is everyone clear with the requirement? What is to be done? Okay, so now you tell me. Let's start writing. Public keyword is added implicitly by compiler. So static. Writing methods are void returning. So I can say store product details. And here, what I'm passing is a map. You can say hash map. Purposefully, I'm not saying hash map because then I don't have a flexibility. Tomorrow, you want to send a sorted map such as a tree map or linked hash map, I use it. So generally, we go to the super type. Type is going to be integer comma product. I'm not changing the core classes here. In today's lab session, I'm going to give you a fresh assignment which you'll have to solve right from core classes and everything. And then only you'll get a complete feel of serialization and deserialization. I told you, today's lab is very important because you are going to do this all of these things with us. So here, map. And what else I will take is the name of the file. So here, now let me identify the chain of the, IO streams. So we are writing the data. So start from Java application. Anyone wants to tell me the next stream class? Which is the stream class I want to use for serialization? I've already given you that readme regarding serialization. So ObjectOutputStream. This is where it will convert the state of the Java objects to binary. So I've got a binary stream here, which is called as serialized binary stream. And this you can, if you want, you can store it in a buffer. Generally, buffering is not required. So I can directly send it to the file node string, and FileOutputStream can write it in a binary file. So I'm giving you a minute. Translate this. All these are auto-closable. So translate this Java, translate this comment into the code. Do it. With ID, things are very easy. You can use control space and finish it fast. ObjectOutputStream out is equal to new ObjectOutputStream, new FileOutputStream, file name. Very right, Yash. Very good. Finish it more. It's a straightforward chaining of the streams. Yes, Kunal, right. So let's write it together, guys. Try with resources. And here you have object output stream. You can use any variable name, new object output stream. And as I said, buffering is optional. File output stream and the name of the file. Okay. The moment you have the file output stream constructor, you have an unhandled checked exception IO exception. So add it in the throws class. 100% clear so far? Everyone has understood it? I'm not asking whether everyone has written it. That is your call. But have you at least understood this totally? Okay. So now will be the, okay, let me ask you. When this particular line is executed, Has the serialization taken place or not yet? Has the serialization occurred or not yet taken? I mean, done or not done? Not done. Because where you have called that write object method, right? So now, please, that is why I train it in a particular manner. Observe and conclude. Go to the, you don't have to open, I'll open it for you. Open the earlier code. I mean, I'm opening the earlier code and we had to write so many things. So compare your earlier IO utils to your, we'll rename it as serialization IO utils and all, to a one-liner. And you tell me what you appreciate or what is easier, what is cooler, way cooler. So all I'm saying is, what is the name of it is map. And at this point, serialization. What is serialization? Conversion of the state object to binary stream is conversion of the state of the object plus writing some metadata information. So this metadata information and the state of the object is written to a binary stream. So this is where the serialization is taking place. So tell me, which one looks easier, cleaner, manageable to write? The earlier data output stream version or your serialization version? Of course, this one. That is it. We are done. Of course, I'm not saying that it is going to work or not. That is for us to see. So tell me, are you done with this? I'll send you this. Okay, what we will do is, I'll just rename this. So later when you are, revising and all, I don't want any confusion. So here, right click on IO utils and refactor rename. Let's call it as serialization IO utils. So you'll know that we are talking about your serialization input output and all that. Just change the name. Now let us go to the tester, write a tester, accept the name of the file, take that sample data and give it to the call the method. So let's create. Somebody is unmuted. Mute all, please. So let's write a tester here. Store product details. And here, since we are talking to client, all that scanner. This you can copy it from the earlier code. It is going to be the same. Instead of calling that IO utils this, we are going to use the serialization IO utils. So your choice totally. Just take some minute. You can use sc.next, sc.next line, depending on white spaces if they are existing and all. And here I want to get that sample data. Utils, collection utils, style. So what we will do here is, I want to call that IO utils ka method, which is store. No, what is the method name? Oh, I have not import static that. I just want to call that serialization IO utils method store product details. So here, store product details. I need to have a map, and that map is going to come from collection utils. So something like populate map from the list, exactly the same. That's why I said, if you want, you can copy it from earlier tester and the name of the file. You can give it as sc.next if it is a one without the spaces. Unhandled exception, catch all. So tell me. Okay, we'll again give a, yeah, you've done it. Good. I'll just give a SOP. product details stored, products stored. So now there's a small norm. Norm means standard designing practice. Whenever you are using the serialization techniques, the extension of the file, binary file, is typically chosen as .ser. SCR standing for serialization. So accordingly give that. Will it not work if you give some other extension? Of course it will work, but doesn't look professional. So let me run it for you. Since we are storing products, I'm calling it as products.ser. Since I'm not supplying any path, it will be stored in the same project, project folder. And you observe and conclude, working or not working. So here we'll take a pause. I want the answer. Some of you are trying along with. Tell me, is it working or is it giving you an exception? 100% you have to get an exception. This is where we start going deeper in serialization. I'm just waiting. Has everyone got an exception? You have to. 100% you will get. There's no other way. So now read it carefully. What is the name of the exception? Not serializable exception. So JVM is telling you whatever you have given me is not serializable. Keep hearing the words. And it is also JVM is being so nice to us, so kind to us and telling us what is it exactly which is not serializable. This is it a Java built-in class or is it our UDT, user defined type? What is it? Is it a built-in class or user defined type? It is a user defined type. So now step back and read further. So open that readme, skip the part of deserialization and continue to read. Deserialization will come to later. So I have told you all about this. Now come to the most important statement in the entire discussion. So read this line twice. When I say twice, I mean important line. Java provides a single interface. What is the heart of entire serialization and later deserialization? A single interface. What is the name of that interface? Java.io.serializable. And what is the job of it? Checking the serializability of the Java objects. So now read it little slowly, the detailed meaning. So first question, who is going to check the serializability of Java objects? Your choices are Java compiler or JVM. Java compiler or Java runtime. Pick up the option. Who is going to check the serializability? Of course, the JVM. Why? Because why I'm saying it so strongly? Otherwise, you would have got a compiler error. Did we get any compile time error or did we get a runtime error? Of course, we got a runtime error. So who is checking the serializability of the Java objects is your JVM. Okay. So with that understanding, read further. At the time of serialization. So which is the method we call for serialization? Write object. And little later, when I take you to deserialization, which is the method we are going to call as read object. Who is checking? JVM is checking. And what is it checking? JVM is checking if the object which you have supplied, if whatever is the argument of write object method, is it serializable at all? So guys, again it is testing. Now JVM is testing is a relationship. So what is the meaning of it? JVM is checking, has that particular object implemented serializable interface at all? So now go slow and understand me because I keep saying it's an important topic to all of you. So open serialization, serial IO utils. And what is it we have passed as the argument to this write object method? A map. What is the data type of the map actually? You remember we have created a hash map. So open the Java docs and check. Look for hash map here. and look for hash map and tell me, is hash map serializable or not? I hope everyone is understanding what I'm talking about. Answer is yes. It has implemented java.io.serializable interface. So guys, it is not only one object. JVM is going to check the serializability of the entire object graph. Means what? Look at this. Means what? So JVM is happy that okay, hash map is serializable. Great. But what does a hash map, what does any map consist of? Key and a value pairs. Are you understanding what I'm saying? So now tell me, what is the type of the key here? Keep responding fast so that I know you are understanding. Integer. Open integer class and tell me, is integer class serializable or not serializable? Don't give me blind answer. Check it out. Open integer and tell me. Guys, all wrapper classes, all string related classes, all of your collection framework classes, all or your depth handling classes are serializable. So not compiler, so sorry. JVM is happy. But now it comes to the value type and it checks the serializability of the product class. So tell me, is product class serializable or not serializable? Product is not serializable. And this serialization process is like a transaction, all or nothing. The moment JVM comes across any node which is not serializable, will it continue to serialize the remaining graph or will it abort the serialization? Answer is it will abort the serialization. And which is the exception it will throw you? It will throw at you is not java.io.not serializable exception, giving you the inputs. Understood the statement? I'll repeat the last few statements. Who is going to check what and when? All W questions. So answer of who is JVM. What is it going to check? Serializability of the entire object graph. And when? Compile time or runtime. The moment I say JVM, you know it is runtime. So this is a runtime checker. This whole check is happening at runtime. And anytime JVM comes across any object, that any node in the graph, which has not implemented serializable interface, what it will do? Will it abort the entire serialization or will it continue? Of course, it will abort, throwing you not serializable exception. Understood the statement so far? So now you must be knowing what is the solution. Yash had given me the solution long time back. Which class has to implement sorry. Your product class has to implement serializable interface. But before doing that, why don't you look at that? So please look for, okay, you can click from here, serializable interface. So you will see it is part of java.io. So this is serializable. And there are some warnings about trusting and security things that I'll cover during the disadvantage of serialization. But read this. Read this carefully. Whatever I'm been telling you is all taken from Java docs or good articles and documentation. So classes which do not implement this interface, will you be able to serialize or deserialize their state? It's a Boolean question. No. Second line, which is very, very important. I've written all of this in proper manner in my README. All subtypes of serializable class are themselves serializable. So tell me, what is the superclass of product? Which is the superclass of a product? Object. I've not created anything, but object class, they have not made it serializable. So that is another popular question, very popularly, commonly asked. Why Java has not made object class itself serializable? The answer is to give you the control.
If you don't want certain objects to be converted into binary because this is, security leak, insecure coding thing. So you should have that control. If they had made object class as serializable, then all the subclasses would be automatically serializable. So that is the reason, to give you the control, to tell you, you can decide whether you want that or not. The object class is not serializable. And now read the last line twice if you require. This serializable interface, is it an ordinary interface? Is it a functional interface? Or is it a marker interface? Answer is, it is a marker interface. What is the meaning of marker interface? Empty interface. See guys, the moment we say any class implementing any interface, first question we ask ourselves, which methods to implement? Here answer is no methods, zero. There it has no fields, no methods, empty interface. Somebody was asking me this question, marker interface when to use. I told him wait for serializability and all that. So here, what is the point? The point is, serializable interface is just existing to allow the serialization. And if your class has not implemented the serializability, serializable interface, the serialization will be aborted. So this is nothing but your runtime marker. So read this. Serializable interface is an empty interface. Empty interface is called as marker is equal to tag interface. And what does it show? So you don't have a single method to implement. So the whole and sole purpose of that serializable interface is to provide a runtime marker. The moment I say runtime marker, it's meant for what? Compiler or JVM? Obviously for JVM. And looking at this marker, JVM will decide to continue the conversion from object to binary or to abort the conversion. So after saying all this, I think everyone knows the solution. So what is it we are going to do? Which is the class you have to open? What is it you'll have to modify? Open the this thing. What is it? Product class. Then 19.2. That's why I asked you to make a different copy. Product. And simply say here, implements serializable. The moment you do this, are you getting warning, error, or none of above? Are you getting any warnings? Are you getting any errors or none of above? Answer is, of course, a warning. Guys, I told you long back when we talked about exception handling that I'll explain this serial version unique ID. Today is the day finally. So of course I'll do it, but over time. So currently you ignore the warning. You just take the cursor or that yellow bulb and you will see that. Or here, it tells you the serializable class product does not declare something called as serial version unique ID. Over time I'll discuss. Over time means today itself, but little later. So now you have implemented serializable. Now simply run the code again and tell me working or not working. Exception or no exception. So can you see the power of a one marker interface? It has the total control for allowing serialization or prohibiting. Prohibiting means restricting, not allowing the serialization. That is why object class is not serializable. Otherwise, we would have lost that control. So this is it. This is it means this is not it. This is the beginning, I'll say. Now right click on it and refresh. And you should be able to see in the project folder products.ser. Is it going to be a binary file or a text file, guys? Of course, binary. We said it is a binary stream and all that, right? But you can still read some things. Am I asking you to read this binary part? No. But I always do this exercise. One more disclaimer. See, if everyone doesn't understand all the statements I'm making, fine. At least go steadily, step by step. Even if you can perform serialization, I'm happy for you today. But little later, you should know the internals. So Am I telling you? Am I asking you to that interpret this? Of course not. This is all binary. But at least can you find out the stuff which is which is readable? So here I have a question. In that binary file, only the state of the object is stored, or is there some additional metadata information is also stored? Only the state or some additional information? That is why I do all these tricks. I do all this. So you will see, of course, in my README, I have given out the detailed structure. There is something called as magic code. I mean, there's a proper format. And understand the point, guys. See, you have written it out, but just writing is not sufficient. Somebody has to restore the data back. So tell me, which is the class you expect to use for deserialization, for restoring? Give me the name of the class. You can write in short forms. The name of the serializer was ObjectOutputStream. What is the name of the class we'll use for deserialization? ObjectInputStream. I did not ask you the method name, I asked you the class name. Here the question. Which is the method you will use for deserialization? And now I'm asking you the method name. Read object. What would you think the return type of a read object method would be? Will it be hash map or will it be object? O or HM? What will be the return type of read object method? What do you think a read object method will return? Come on, guys. Today you are writing it as a hash map. Are there only maps in the world, or is there a set and a queue and a list also? Of course, yes. So object is going to be the return type. The point is, when a deserializer has to do the reverse conversion from binary to object, it will require to know which are the names of the classes. What are the names of the data members? You remember hashing algorithm, load factor, threshold capacity, that initial capacity. Then you can see there is an integer. Which part is integer in our hash map? Key or a value? Key. Can you see what is the superclass of integer? Number. Subclass is a superclass and something more. I hope you remember all these statements from our core Java week 1 or whatever. Okay, so it has stored that. And then it comes to the product, our product, whatever value type, and product has an ID. So it details out the names of the data members, and this could be some value of product ID, binary. Product has a price, has a date, etc. So this is that binary information, the state information, plus some metadata information. So this is what has been converted or has been created by the JVM in one method called write object. So this is why I was asking you, is your binary stream going to contain only the state or additional metadata information? Answer is, of course, additional metadata information. And answer the next question, who is going to require, who is going to need this metadata information? And when or for which purpose? Who is going to need it? I said, who is going to need this additional information, metadata information? Nobody's answering. Deserializer. Very right, Sakshi. So we means JVM is going to require this additional metadata information to reconstruct the entire graph in your Java heap. Okay. So this gives you some inputs regarding serialization. So now let us try to deserialize the whole thing. So let me just open the diagram. And I don't think I have drawn it. Just give me a second here. Is there a deserializer here? No. This is serializer. Anyway, you can always verbally, I can ask you. So tell me, now what is it we want to perform? Serialization or deserialization? Deserialization. So start answering. Deserialization is object state to binary or binary to object. What to what? Which conversion, please? It is reconstruction of Java object or graph of Java object, the collection of Java object from some binary state. So now I don't have the picture. Picture means diagram. We can verbally discuss it. One end is Java application, other end is binary file. So tell me, during deserialization, are you going to write the data or are you going to read the data? W or R? Of course, you're going to read. You are very right. So anyone wants to tell me what will be this file output stream be replaced by? Easy questions, easy answers. File input stream. Everyone gets it? But now I'm asking you, should you, if you don't validate if the file exists and all that, I will unnecessarily get file not found exception. So should I validate the file existence first or should I directly jump into attaching IO streams? You know this, I have already prepared you in the morning half. First, we will do the validation. Same file exists, can read, is file, etc. And once you have confirmed that this binary file, this .scr file exists, we will attach a file input stream. So if you tap it here, what will this binary file consist of? Your choices are state, option 1, metadata information, option 2, the behavior means all the code, constructor code behavior, the dot class files, all of above, none of above, any of above. That means you're not paying attention. Answer is first two options. All of above is a horribly wrong option. I'll tell you why. Guys, currently we are having the information of hash map. Do you seriously think, okay, open that. Here, where is that? Products.scr. Do you think that products.scr has got all the code of a hash map? All the code of integer, number, product, enum, and category? So how can you say behavior? Check your answer. Think before you answer. So what is it which is added in that binary stream? State, metadata information, behavior, all of above, none of above. Only the state and this little bit of information, metadata information for the deserialization purpose. But the dot class files, the behavior is totally missing. You're going to confirm all this. Just give me 10 minutes or whatever time and you will understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so just keep this as a background. So coming back to the to your diagram. So here, when you open that binary stream, it just has state, it just has the metadata information. So now tell me, what will object output stream be replaced by? This is the easiest answer. Replace globally all out by in. So this will be replaced by object input stream. And it will perform the reverse conversion, namely deserialization. And what we will get in Java application is the restored Java object. So what I'm trying to say in simple English is, we are going to write a brand new application. From the day 1 or maybe day 2, I have shown you stack, heap, and method area, right? So when you launch the application, there is nothing in the heap. There are no product details. There are no product objects. There's no hash map. But once you call the method for deserialization, which method are we going to call for deserialization? Give me the name of the method. Easy questions I'm asking you. Of course, read object. So after that read object method has succeeded, what is it you expect to see in the heap? Forget heap. First, the classes, hash map class or whatever classes will be loaded. The hash map object, map is map of references. So product details and everything will be stored elsewhere. And the entire graph, entire object, I mean the set of whatever map of objects will be created in the heap is the expectation. And then we are going to see whether the expectations match the actual. Of course, they are not going to match the actual so easily. So again, you will see the problems. And once you see the problem, you'll understand the problem and will fix it. So all of that after 10 minutes. So let us have a 10 minutes break. You just, think it over. What is it we are going to do is, we are going to replace the serialization by deserialization. And once you perform that deserialization, of course, you will land into problems, and then we'll solve the problem one by one. So let's have a 10 minutes break here, because I don't want to give you a break in between during deserialization. Let's have a break early and resume at 12:50. See you around. So we have already talked about what we are going to do. So here are the clear-cut instructions to understand deserialization like inside out. So I want you to create a brand new project, separate project. Don't change. I have something in mind. I mean, I have a point there. So please follow the instructions as it is. So here you can say Control-Shift-W, close everything, and create a new project. Let's say day 19.3. I'm giving that as a name. You can create any name, but I want a separate project. Otherwise, you will not understand the point. So, and here we're just going to write IO utils, serialization IO utils for restoring the data. So here, SRC, start with the interface. Has everyone created a new project, brand new project? Do not copy anything from earlier. Are we all clear, guys? It's a empty project, blank project. Yes or no? Okay, because like I said, I would like to show you things. So here, let's have a utils package and a serialization IO utils interface. And we have already done the serialization part. So add a static method for deserialization, which is nothing but restoring Java object, or there could be multiple Java objects part of the graph. Restoring Java objects from binary string. Add a static method for deserialization is what we are going to do. Okay. So since the interface methods already have this public keyword static, you tell me, since we are restoring, what should be the return type? Should it be void or non-void? Non-void. And here, what should be you tell me. Void, non-void is a very right answer. Tell me the return type, please. What do you want to return? Okay, let me give you a question in return. So I got the answer from Yasha's as map. I'm not going to do that. Why? There is a point here. So here, just say here, object. Tell me, what is the return type of read object method? What is the return type of it as object? So let's keep it as object. This is step 1 or whatever step, in between steps you can say. Okay, so keep that as this. And here I'll say restore product details. And argument, please, nothing but that binary file name, right? So this much. Okay. So now everyone knows before doing this, what is it called? Attaching the data stream, validations. Apply the validations. So what is the first step? Create file class instance. Okay. Because the file class has this utility methods. So you can say file whatever file and supply the name of the file. Which are the checks you are going to follow later to confirm that it is an existing readable proper data file? Which are the methods? I already got the answer. Exists, is file, and can read. Very right. So just perform the checks. If file dot exists, actually when you say is file, it also checks for existence. I'm just being extra careful. File dot is a regular file, and file dot whether you have the read permission, whether your application has a read permission, you can return here the object. Otherwise, here, since I don't have a map and anything yet, I can't return an empty map. So here in this case, keep it simple. Like I think Ragini or somebody was this thing first. So here I'm taking a shortcut of returning null. You will understand each and every point inside out. Just some time is required. Okay. So here, in case the file itself doesn't exist, I can't return. And there is nothing like an empty object here. So I'm returning null. And here, if it is this, now we can attach the data streams for deserialization. Right? So anyone wants to tell me, okay, don't tell me from memory, I will give you. So one side is your Java application and the other end is binary file. Okay, so when you are reading, you should always go from the file. Oh, sorry. So tell me, which is the node stream? I want to start reading the data from the file into a node stream. Give me the name of the node stream. Binary, this file input stream. Very right. You just have to change input by output. Now, in most of the cases, you don't need buffering. So you can directly connect. You can always add a buffer anytime you want. So now tell me, what is the name of that deserializer stream? I got the answer already. Yes, ObjectInputStream. And this ObjectInputStream is going to read the binary data from that file and it is going to construct it into Java object, which is actually of the type hash map, but the downcasting, the typecasting and all, we'll do it little later. Just wait for some time. So this is your stream. So now in the next minute, translate it into Java code. I've given you the clue already. So just you have to put it in the code. Do that. ObjectInputStream, FileInputStream, and the name of the file. A small suggestion is you can give the name of the file or you can also pass this validated file class instance. Either one is okay. So ObjectInputStream in ObjectInputStream, new FileInputStream, and followed by file class instance. Or even if you give file name, it will be I'll not get any exceptions because we have already performed the checks. Okay, so here just take it here and you'll see unhandled file not found exception. So the super class is IO exception. So you can say simply throws IO exception. And here, can you give me the one-liner? What is it I'm going to return? So I'll write the part of it. Next part you write. Return what? Yes, you're right. This one, Ganesh, Sumit, all are correct. In dot read object. So can you tell me the line number in my code? Forget the compiler error. We'll fix it in a minute. Can you tell me the line number in the code where the deserialization is actually taking place? Is it 18 or is it 20? Where this reverse conversion is happening? Absolutely correct. So this is where the deserialization is taking place. And then take the cursor here and you'll see it is giving you some weird exception, class not found exception. Okay, just follow the compiler and here include it in the throws class. What is it and all that you will see in couple of minutes. That's why the whole efforts is towards to make you understand what really happens internally during deserialization. Anyway, I'm not answering that right now. You're going to see it yourself. So tell me, is the method complete? Have you finished it? There should not be any compiler errors. Just include in the throws class IO exception and class not found exception. Done. I'll send you in case anyone needs it. Serialization IO utils from 19.3. Yeah, I've sent you. So now only you have to write a tester, one-liner tester, which will call this method, which will of course accept the file name, call the method, and will print it. What happens? Okay. So here, go to the tester. Create a tester, src class package name tester, and here it is testing the deserialization actually, or I can say simply restore product details. You can give the name as test serialization test. This is test deserialization actually. Okay. So just give me a second here. I need to take this. I'm so sorry. So now, I hope you have continued standard stuff. Try with resources. Scanner. Okay. And here, ask user to enter the file name. Okay. And here, we just want to call this static method. So import static if you want. Serialization and with this restore products. And since I have not yet casted it into map and all, let us just print it as it is. So see what I'm doing. I'm simply calling restore product details and name of the file. You can use sc.next because it is one word, or if you don't want to take chances, you can take it as sc.next line in case you have given it with the white spaces. So two-liner code. Tell me when you complete. Done? Please don't run it. I don't want you to run it. I just want you to type it out. Those who are not typing along, have you understood what I did is just call the method. That's it. We are doing nothing else. I'm doing. Have you understood what I've written? Respond, guys. Those who are not writing. Okay. So now the question is, when we run this, is it going to restore all the product details and show you the map of products, or is it going to throw any exception? Is it going to work or is it going to throw any exception? So I'm getting the answer as no exception. Try it out. Okay. Don't know. Come on. You're supposed to understand and identify some things. Anyway, I've already given the answer earlier. So what was that? Product start. Oh, sorry. Wait a second. My mess. My bad. Here, forget it about it. Here, what is it your deserializer is going to require? The data file. And nobody, there are 226 who have logged in and nobody reminds me. So the file is missing. So we forgot because it's a separate project. I want to keep the serializer, deserializer. Generally, when we are having a physical session means not online session, offline, proper in-prem session. I ask people to do it on 2 machines and connect it and all that. So currently it is not doing. So take this products.acr, control C. I'm giving simple instructions, follow quickly and click on day 19.3 and paste it. Paste the project products.acr, whatever file under day 19.3. Otherwise, you would have got, yes, you are off track. Otherwise, you would have got this thing, file not found exception, invalid file, null and all. Done this? Okay. So because I totally forgot, you are still going to get the error, but that's not the point. The point is, first, let us not at least have the no data file type of error. Okay. So now go through this. When at the time of giving the name of the file, I suddenly realized. So give the thing products.acr and tell me what did you get. I liked Ankit's answer best. Don't know. Are you going to say this? Don't know to the interviewer. Please try something. 100% you will get an exception. Class not found exception. So tell me, has everyone got? No, there's some problem in the code. Gurish, you follow the code, whatever I've written. 100% you'll have to get that. And I'll tell you, your file name is wrong or you're not copied that file. There are 2 problems, Girish. Check your file name. You must have misspelled it or you have not copied it in the proper folder. Okay, in lab session, I'll help you. So 100%. Is everyone getting the class not found exception? And the name of the class it is unable to load is product. So now stop coding, sit back and understand or answer my questions. Tell me. I'm taking you to the day 1 or day 2 in Java, where we started talking in classes, objects, and everything, object-oriented introduction. So tell me, guys, if you want to create any object in the heap, what is the template of an object? What is the logical template of an object? Quickly, a class. So tell me, if for example, employee class instance has to be created, will the employee class instance get created directly in the heap or something has to happen before that? What has to happen before that? Yes, tell me. The class loading, not new Shubham, come on. The class loading has to happen. So the employee class has to be loaded in the method area and then its template, then its instance, the employee class instance gets created. Everyone understood me? So now, so this is the prerequisite to object creation. Now tell me, what is it which is happening during deserialization? JVM is going to recreate. Currently at the beginning, the heap was empty. There was nothing. So JVM, when you start saying read object, it opens your product.acr. If you give the wrong file name, of course, you'll get null value. Girish. So now see, think like JVM. So JVM has started reading the file and first class it has to load in the method area is hash map. So start telling me hash map, built-in class or UDT. It's a simple questions I'm asking you. Built-in class. Everyone understands it? So will you remember the first day when we met? JDK, JVM, JRE. So when you have this project day 19.3, you have the whole JRE with you. Guys, I know I'm going into too deep, but this is what people expect you if you want to get detailed in core Java. So guys, see this day 19.3. Expand on JRE system library. These this thing thing, what is it called? The packages java.util, and here all that hash map and all sitting.
Ma'am, there is
Lag?
lag.
Okay. Yeah, I read it now. So when I say so many messages, I get to know. So I don't know till what you learned, till what you heard. Here, I'll repeat. Here, expand day 19.3. Am I audible now? There is generally a glitch, around this time. I don't know what the coincidence is. Anyway, so day 19.3, expand JRE system library. Below that, see, this is how it will look. Open that java.base, that is a base module. So open that, and can you see all the Java packages which we have been using? So hash map is part of which Java package? Again a lag. Oh, again you are getting a lag. Just a second. Let me change the network. Some of you are saying it is fine. I've changed it from my 5G to ordinary one. Is it audible? Is it okay, guys? Okay, you'd let me know if it again gives you problem. So coming back to the point, the hash map class is in java.util, and you already told me that it is a built-in class. So answer my question. The question being asked is, wait a sec. Here, for loading the hash map class, will your JVM have any problem or no problem? Simple question, simple answer. Of course, no problem. It is all part of the class path. Okay, so now we'll go a little faster. Here, after hash map loading, it is looking at the key class, integer class, built-in or UDT. It is a built-in class. Again gets loaded, number class. But when it comes to product class, is it a built-in API or is it a user-defined type? It is a user-defined type. So now answer my question. This binary data file, what you are looking at, is it containing state or is it containing behavior? Only the state, and of course the metadata, more information. But the dot class file, is it added? Of course not. In short, think like a deserializer, think like a JVM, and tell me, whenever JVM's class loader tries to load product class, will it find this product class? Just check the thing. Purposefully I had told you to create a separate package. I'm so sorry, separate project. So is JVM going to find the product class from the project day 19.3? Of course not. And which is the exception? Not file not found, Shubham. You are totally wrong, totally off track. File is found. Products.acr is found. Class not found exception, it will throw you. So what is the point? The point is, what does that serialize binary stream consist of? State, behavior, both or neither? Only the state information. And very popular question, what are the prerequisites? What are the essential inputs for the deserialization? If you want JVM to recreate the entire object graph, can objects be created without their classes getting loaded? No. So tell me, what are the prerequisites of your deserialization? I'll give you choices. Yes, state and behavior. Of course, state and behavior is the generic answer. Generic means general answer. But more precisely, I'm asking you, products.acr, option 1. The dot class files of all your UDT, option 2. Third option, both of above. Fourth option, none of above. Answer is, of course, both of above. Why you are still playing in option 1 and 2? Guys, I have already given the products.acr, it failed. Remove products.acr, immediately you will start getting file not found. So think sensibly. You need both. And okay, so the whole point was this. So the .acr file or that binary stream does not contain your UDT's class definitions. And that is the reason your JVM is throwing you class not found exception. So now tell me guys, how to provide this dot class file, how to get rid of this class not found exception. Now Yash, I can accept your answer. You had given me something earlier. I said you are out of track. You are off track. Yes, tell me guys, not just Yash, anyone. Tell me, what is it I'll have to do to make this available, or rather to remove this? So here you will have to give supply. See this. You will have to supply the product class. Okay. So let me go systematically. You are saying com.app.core. Just give me a minute. So suppose you imagine this product class, I copied it into day 19.3. I copied only product. And after you run it again, deserializer, exception, or will it work? If I just copy the product, exception or will it work? Of course, exception. What exception it will give you? Class not found exception. But which is the class it will be unable to load this time? Quickly. What is it? It won't find it. You are missing the point. You are not understanding my English looks like. I said I have already supplied the product class. It is the category class which will be missing. So all these extra things, please do it in the lab and convince yourself. Okay. So don't say enum, this one, Sumit and Rishikesh. The enum class is Java class, but the category class will be missing. So this is a classroom example. So I have got only two dependencies. You know from React, the dependencies, that package.json and all that. So these are these dependencies for the deserializer. But in the production grade environment, will you have only two dependencies, or might you may have what more? I mean, you may have more dependencies, right? 20, 200 dependencies. So here comes the better programming. Sorry, it's not a programming, it's a deployment practice. Shubham, don't break the flow. I'll talk to you because you keep breaking the flow in between, and then I find it hard to come back. Hold on to your questions. I'm asking you, which class has to be supplied currently? Product, category, both or neither? Which are the classes which have to be supplied? Both. But in a production graded environment, will your dependencies consist of only two classes, or will there be multiple dependencies? Multiple dependencies. So and of course they could be spread over multiple packages. So tell me, supplying these dependencies separately makes sense, or creating a bundle and supplying the dependencies makes more sense? Of course, bundling it. And what is that bundle which is most suitable for Java, core Java applications? No. Bundle is not a package. The archive form. Do you remember the extension jar? What does a jar stand for? Java archival file format. So the standard way people do it is you bundle all your dependencies in a jar file format and then ask the deserializer to add the jar in the runtime class path, and the whole thing will work. I'll repeat the last 2-3 statements again. In this small project, in this small classroom environment, it takes me a minute. I can simply say Control C. Don't do that. And I can say here Control V and story over, the problem remove. But in the production grade environment, you could be sitting on different machines. You have DevOps. I think you have DevOps training and all that. At that time, you'll understand the whole life cycle and everything. Anyway, so the point is, I don't want to show you something which works in a dev environment and doesn't work in a prod environment. So coming back to the point, instead of copying these classes like this, why don't we bundle? So when I say bundle, people give me the answer of package. But guys, there could be multiple such packages. One is com.app.core. One could be your custom exceptions. One could be additional. So let us bundle all the dependencies under a jar file. And I'll show you, that will give me a chance to show you how to create a jar file. And then you make that jar file available to the deserializer. Understood something? 1%, 2%? So now this is what, in such moments, I want people to work parallelly. So I know only I don't know the percentage. We don't have your polling system. I don't know what percent of people are coding along. Maybe 1%, 2%. I really don't know. I have no clue. So guys, those who are not going here with me, remember the steps and please try it out in the lab. So I'm showing you from ID. It is very easy. It's nothing complex. Don't feel scared. It is just on the right click. So now I want to bundle these dependencies into jar file. In simple English, I'm showing you how to create a jar. Okay, so follow the instructions. Anyway, you have recording, so you can always refer to it. So right click on that package. Currently, there's only one package to be bundled. So do it along with me. Right click on the this thing, package. For importing the existing project, we had import option. There is next to it export. So we are exporting the dependencies in form of an archival file. When I take you in the next week to web programming in Java, we will create a WAR file, web application archive, and we'll bundle all of things. So over time. So just choose the export option here. Expand. So everyone means whoever is coding along. Are you coming to this export wizard? Are you seeing this? Okay. So now choose the open the Java option, expand the Java option. And what is it you want to create? There are two types of jar files you have, One is the ordinary jar, which we are going to create. And the other one is runnable jar. Runnable jar means that jar file has a class which has a main method, and main is the starting point of running the application. So currently you don't require runnable jar, choose jar. Simple instructions I'm giving, not at all difficult. But those who are not doing it now, please do it at least once in the lab. Okay, jar, say next. And now you can see, it will get you to this. And if you expand on this, you will see under SRC, it has automatically chosen COMAP core because currently my dependencies are only in that. Now here, don't check, let me see. No checkboxes to be changed. I mean, keep it as it is. And here it is asking you where you want to keep this jar file. So I don't know your folder structure. I know mine. So suppose I say D:, this thing, something. You can choose, you can wherever. So what is it we are having? Product dependency, something I'm giving, .jar. Don't forget the .jar extension, otherwise it will fail. So I'm asking this tool, the IDE tool, to create a jar, product dependencies.jar. Reached everyone? Can I continue? Just give the any name. You can say test dependencies.jar, anything. Yes or no, quickly. All you have to type is the name and along with the path. Okay, path means folder path, wherever you have write permissions. And then say next it. Now you can see you have a checkboxes. So if this checkbox is checked, export classes with the compiler errors. Do you want to export the classes with compiler errors? Yes or no? I hope the answer is no. So uncheck that. Compiler warnings are fine. So let that be. So first checkbox uncheck, second keep it. Okay, next it. And pause here. It is talking about something called as manifest specification. So every jar file has a special folder called as meta-inf. Guys, you must have spent, ma'am must have told you the details about React folder structure. It's such a deep one. So likewise, the jar folder structure has a special folder called as meta-inf for meta information. And under that, the jar tool creates a special file whose name is manifest.mf. Manifest information is like a metadata information. But currently, since we don't have any entry point runnable jar, it is going to be empty. So this was just a, some information. Simply say finish. I'm going to show you the manifest file. It will tell you that it has been created with the warnings. Say okay. Done. Finished so far? Those who have not done it, you can do it in the lab session. There's hardly anything to do. So now Now let us confirm. See, I have not put it in the under the workspace. So go to your this thing. What is it called? Folder structure. I don't know where you have copied. You have asked it. I have done it under D drive, and I've got it something like product dependencies. Where is that? Product dependencies. Yeah. So I've got this product dependencies.jar. Just confirm whether the jar file is available or not. Has it been created? Can you figure out? Can you find out your this? Okay, great. So now, in addition to IDE, the sun means JDK, also gives you a jar tool where you can create the jar, see the contents and all. So guys, follow the instructions carefully. So here you say CMD, open the command prompt. You open the command prompt from wherever you have created the jar. I hope I'm going extremely slow. And the command line invocation itself is jar. And the label, the options are T for tabulating the contents, V for verbose, it will tell you what all are the contents, and F for jar file name. And then you can give the whatever the name of the jar file. Jar, you can write it down. Those who are not doing coding along, you can note it in your whatever notepad or something. Jar, TVF, space TVF, T for tabulating, V for verbose, F for file name. Product dependencies.jar. So it is not going to extract the jar. Jar is like a bundle, like your RAR files, zip files. This is the Java archival format. And when you press enter, tell me, are all these dependencies bundled nicely into that? Can you see your dependency classes? You should be 100%. And I told you the signature document, signature folder is meta-inf, and this is where your manifest MF is. Everyone confirmed the contents of the jar file? Okay, I'll show you similar war file creation and all, but in advanced Java. So now open that. So now your job of jar file creation is ready. So now what is the next step? What is the last step? Let me ask you a question. This particular deserializer, does it have the access to the state? Answer is yes. State is coming from binary file. But does it have those dependency classes here? Answer is no. So now we have to add that jar file in the runtime class path. We will make it available. So follow the steps. What we are going to do is, we have created that jar file. I just want to add it under the runtime class path. So follow along. Right click on a deserializer. Right click. Everyone done this? Can you see the option build path? All these things you are going to require in the next week when I show you JDBC, Java, JDBC drivers, database connectivity and all that. Here it is just a warm up. Found this build path? Quickly, yes or no, some response. Right click on the deserializer project, build path, and come to the last option, configure build path. Reach here and enter that. So here you will see this particular wizard. It will show you Java build path. Now, this is the tab. This is the third tab. First tab is source, projects, and libraries. Click on the third tab. So under libraries, can you tell me which are the two things you are looking at? You must be looking at module path and a class path. Yes or no? This modular system, they have introduced JPMS from Java 9. Currently, it's not under your contents. So click on the class path. Ignore the module path. The module path already has your JRE. So click on the class path. And can you see the second button here? Add external jars. Click on that, add external jars. And here, now you have to give the jar file which got created. So I created it in this D drive. So this was your product dependencies.jar. Open it. So I don't know where you have created. So your class path should reflect. Class path should show the product dependency or whatever dependency jar you have created. Managed. Because if you ask me to repeat, I can't go back. I mean, I'll have to delete everything. Okay. Whatever help you require, we will help you in the lab session. Okay. And you can say up. So it should see carefully. Module path showing the Java SE library, class path showing the additional jars. Apply and close. And now tell me, or you should be a good observer in order to be good developer. So under JRE system library, is everyone looking at reference libraries? Expand that. Are you seeing your jar file there, product dependency jar? So has it been copied under the project? Of course not. It has been simply added in the build path. Okay, it has just linked it. And when you expand that, you will see your dependency classes, package dependency classes, and expand that meta-inf and have a look at manifest file. So this manifest file is currently empty, just has a version, no details, because this is not a runnable jar. If I get time, I'll show you how to create a runnable jar. So there will be additional entry main class, and that will be the name of the class, which has the main method. Everyone found this? The manifest mf file, etc. Found the class path properly? Is it showing correctly, guys? Okay. Now you just have to run the deserializer again. So how do you run anything again? You know this is run button. Expand on that. Restore product details. Don't misspell the product file name, guys. Otherwise, you'll get null. Products.ser and tell me, has it restored the entire object graph, which is nothing but your hash map correctly, or is it still failing? Working or not working? So this was the effort I wanted to take in order to show you what are the actual internal happenings of deserialization. And I hope you have understood this, that during deserialization, you need to supply both the binary file and the jar containing jar or dot class files is your choice. Better option is jar, which has all the UDTs. If you read my README, these things, serialization in detail, you will see somewhere there are a lot of things I have written. So what happens during deserialization? This is the complete internals and all that. So some of the things you will not understand because I have not yet covered the reflection part. But this part you will understand. What are the prerequisites? What is it your JVM will require during deserialization? Of course, it is going to require the bytecodes.class file, which is the Java built-in classes it already has. So basically UDTs and binary data stream, which contains the state. In short, the answer is state and behavior. Okay, so this is what is giving you the what proof of concept. Unless and until you we supplied state and behavior both, deserialization did not work. So I hope it is working for everyone now. Clear? Is it working completely properly? Okay. So now I have some 7 minutes. So I'll just try to take it. And whatever I can, of course, we are going to take it tomorrow and then continue to threads. So let me ask you a question here. Still keep them in 2 separate projects. I have something more to say. So let me say this. I am asking you a question. Or okay, let me not say this. Let me do it in an easier way. Open your console, please. And copy this line. Copy this, whatever. Or you don't have to copy, you can watch me doing this. Let me open it in some notepad. And here I have a question. So take a look at this output. I got it halfway. Wait a sec. I did not copy the whole thing. My mistake. I'll copy the whole thing. Give me a second. Okay. So take a look at this particular map. You know how the map looks like. It is key and a value stuck together. So this is like, don't expect any sorting order. It is a hash map which we are restoring. So this is the key and this is the value. So now I have a question. Are the complete details of the product restored, or has it restored the partial details? Partial or complete? Has it restored all the details or only partial details? It's an easy question. Complete details. As in, I can read the product ID, product name, category, date, and the price. So complete details are restored. Understood the statement? So now I'm asking you, now please open the product class. You can go to your Serializer project, day 19.2, and suppose there is a business requirement. The business manager told me that I don't want to, some reason, I don't want to store this manufacturing date in the binary file. I want to skip the date, manufacturing date from the serialization, and later, of course, it won't be available to the deserialization. If you ask me why, suppose there is a business need, I don't want to write the date stamp there. I just want to exclude it. So till now, what we have said is serialization is all or nothing. That is, when the moment you make product class serializable, entire details of this product class were stored and later you saw them restored. So the question being asked is there any option in Java? Is there any way in Java where I can exclude, where I can control the serialization, where I can exclude some of the data members from serialization? It's a Boolean question, yes or no. Is there such an option or no option? Did you understand what I said? Yes or no? First respond that. Is the question clear or question is not clear? I'll say it in a simple English. I don't want this local date to be stamped. I don't want to store the local date. So is there any way? Answer is yes. And that is where your transient keyword comes in. So let me ask you. During serialization, what is it which is actually stored in the binary stream? State or behavior? Simple questions, respond fast. State. And what does the state include? Static members or non-static members? Non-static members, but the complete definition is, I told you earlier also, I don't know where it gone. Yeah, so non-static and non-transient data members is the real, is a complete answer. So now, if you scroll in this file, you will see somewhere what gets serialized and all. You will see, yeah, look for a transient keyword or look for details. And if you can't find it, you look it up from here. So what is transient? I've shown you so many keywords in last so many days. So transient is a keyword in Java. Read it one by one. Can it be applied to classes, methods, interfaces? Absolutely not. Where you can apply it? Only to the data member. Transient keyword is applicable only to data member. But can you apply it to primitive data types as well as reference types? Answer is yes. So this transient keyword can come only to the data member. Can be primitive or it can be reference. Both are allowed. Now, when you say transient, it is the order. Is it meant for JVM or is it meant for compiler? Who is going to take this order? JVM or compiler? Answer is right there. Compiler doesn't understand anything in serialization, deserialization. It is the order meant for JVM. And the order is nothing but whatever are the transient members, will they be converted into binary stream? In short, will they be serialized? Answer is no. So transient keyword is meant for JVM to skip the members from serialization. And so this is what will happen in serialization. And when we talk about deserialization, are the transient or are the static members, were they stored or they were not stored? Static members were stored, static and transient members, were they stored in the binary file? Simple question I'm asking. Of course not. So will they be available during deserialization? 100% not. So what will your JVM do, you know? The transient and static members will be initialized to their default values. You know, if it is a Boolean, default value is false. For integer types, it is a 0. For references, what is the default value of reference? Null. So that way it will happen. And the use case of a transient keyword is to save the partial state, only the desirable state, only the required state of the Java object can be saved into the into the binary file. So just one last minute, we'll do something and then we'll observe and conclude. I mean, we'll stop immediately after that. So tell me, which is the keyword I want to introduce, or which is the keyword you are going to add? I hope it is obvious. Which keyword are we adding is transient. So open day 19.2, open product.java and simply mark it as transient. Done this? Give me quick responses so that I'm not saying all, whoever is coding along, okay? Because I don't want to stretch your lunch break. So you have done this. Now you do the this thing. Okay. I'll just okay, just run the serializer again. I said serializer. I'm talking very clearly. So there's a store product details. Run this. You can give the same file name anyway, and we are overwriting. We don't append generally in serializations. So products.acr. So tell me, you got any exception or product details were stored? Exception or working? Working? No problem. Okay, so follow the instructions looking at time fast. Open product.acr and tell me, can you find any local date, I mean manufacturing date related details are stored or are they skipped? You can look at it, it just takes you a minute. There is completely missing. So is the meaning of transient keyword clear? Transient is the order meant for the JVM to skip a particular member or members from serialization. All okay so far? Okay, so now you never this thing. Anyway, so now again, follow the instructions correctly. So take this products.acr, Control C, click on day 19.3 or whatever is your project, I don't know, and Control V. Already there was an earlier version. So it is asking you, should you overwrite? Say yes. So has everyone copied this thing? What is it called? Products.scr from earlier project to the next project? Done that? Okay. So now the question is, once I run the deserializer, what is it you expect to see? You're not supposed to run it. You're supposed to think first. So I'll give you the option. I said in a minute, I'm going to run this tester, deserializer. So first option is exception. Second option is complete product details will be restored. Third option is partial product details, excluding the manufacturing date will be displayed. So you are saying option 3. You run it and tell me what happened. That is what makes Java, not Java, any technology interesting. Observe and conclude. So right click, run as Java application. Don't mess up the file name, guys. And 100% you will get an exception. And that is when you will start understanding the interesting concept of a serial version unique ID. So I'm stopping here, of course. You will get invalid class exception. That's just a name, but it will tell you something that one serial version unique ID is not matching with other thing. So all of that and much more later. Everyone got got the same exception, guys? Okay. So things are definitely something, I mean, things are definitely more interesting than what appears at the surface level. So that is the chance for me to explain serial version unique ID later. So we are stopping here. You join the labs much earlier than I do. So definitely you have a lot of things to revise. Revise it completely. And when I join, if anyone requires any help in jar file and all, jar file, no, wrong this thing, Sangram. Jar file is in that runtime class. Anyway, don't guess. Let's not do the blind guessing game here. We will do it everything properly. You are on the right track, but some things is missing. So give me time. So please do the revision properly. Finish whatever pending work you have. And today, I'll definitely need 1 hour or 1.5 hours to be on the safe side from you to give you more details or give you something. Get the proper assignment, end-to-end assignment done in serialization, deserialization. So that will be all. I'll upload everything along with the instructions. Start the revision. I'll join the lab session soon. That will be all. See you around.